So what's up, everybody? We're gonna start off this episode with part 4, and Dan is not too happy with me at all. Now I get a one-track mind of only working on it whenever it's after work or on the weekend. So I don't have any video of taking the cab off or the bed off.
You had one job, Kyle.
Or the fenders or the front end.
You had one job.
So plug the coils in, or the injectors.
Like, yet again, OSHA. What? Moment of truth.
We'll see if this fuel is timing is good or not. Obviously, this is my truck. It's in pieces, a million pieces. When I get here, it's like go time to try to get as much done as possible. And I didn't video anything, so Dan's not too happy.
Nope.
So, this is where we're at now. Got the cab off and got the steering column mocked up. So, one thing the C10 enthusiasts will find out, and they will know pretty quickly if they're around these style trucks a lot and know about them, is this is not the dash that goes in these trucks. So you got two body styles of these cabs right here, and I believe it's a 62, 63. I believe 63 still had it. Knee knocker cab, which the windshield wraps around. And your doors are shaped a little differently because the front glass comes around and wraps around the side over here. And that's the style dash that this goes in. Well, to me, this is the best style looking dash in these trucks, period, versus what was already in the truck. And came across this one, had some nice patina on it to kind of match the inside of the truck, and I wanted it. And I was gonna be determined that I was gonna put it in the truck. So, being the cage is going in the truck too, I didn't want to paint the dash. So what I did was I'm gonna make the dash removable and scalp the dash out as little as possible to make it fit back where it kind of looks factory without welding on it. So that's gonna be the chore, is making it look good, contour all the body lines like they're supposed to, and fit to my liking. So I'm working on that. Not only that, the dash bracket back here is your brake pedal bracket that is already bolted to the cab, but this bracket right here had to get modified to fit this dash right here. So I had to mock up the dash on jack stands and stuff like that and get it fitted where I wanted, and then cut the bracket down and cut and weld and make it fit. So that's fitted in there, steering column's in, and I had the steering column hooked up to the truck with the steering shaft. But once again, Dan's pissed off because I don't have a video of it. So from there, I went ahead and started patching all the holes in the floor. A little bit of hole repair, some rust repair on the floors, and now the body is off of it because it is almost time for paint for cab. And what I'm gonna do is the dash is gonna get a matte clear coat. So the dash is gonna stay patinaed. The floor will be black with a coating on it, and it's gonna get either a black or tan carpet. And then the top, I think it's from the A-pillars up around to the back side, is all gonna be the factory color, which is a like a fawn color. It's like a medium tan-ish color. It's kind of like what's already in there on the roof and stuff, but going back to the same color. Same thing with the door panels, so all that'll be new paint. The only thing you're gonna see inside is the patina dash, which I think will look pretty cool. The steering column is clear coated. It's got that nice brush finish to it. And as long as it doesn't rust too good, I think what I'm gonna do with the cage is probably just Scotch-Brite it real good and get it to that nice kind of brush finish, and probably go ahead and clear coat that too. Then bucket seats, and got a lot of interior ideas. So that'll be pretty cool when it's done. But whenever I did the firewall, I put a little bit more solid rivets in it than I wanted to. So I went back and took all from here to in between each one. I took it out, welded it back up. That way their spacing is a little bit different. And now I gotta throw a little bit of body filler on there to smooth it out. That way you you can't tell that it was ever touched up. On the truck side, this is the water box that I'm building for it. This is actually gonna go in the side of the truck, on the side of the fuel cell. Kind of made it contour, it fit nicely right in there. So it's like it's supposed to. Made that way. Recess it down a little bit. And I got some Hagen hinges with some magnetic latches. That's gonna have a little trap door right here. So I'm gonna have 2 hinges on each side. I gotta make brackets for that. 2 magnetic latches. So you'll push it down just a little bit, it'll pop up. So when you look at the rear of the truck, you won't see any hinges or any kind of latches to lift the door up. It'll be nice smooth finish. So that's what that's gonna be. Have 2 lines coming off of this, going to the intercooler up there. And then this side, I've got 2 fuel lines, a -10 and a -8 that wraps around this tube, going all the way to the front. And we go and get one of those real quick. So I had this idea of making a clamp. I looked around all over the internet, couldn't find anybody that made one like I wanted to have on the truck. So if I have a design that I want, I was able to find somebody that was able to make it in CNC aluminum. And Dan, the Cameron guy here, he was able to 3D design it for me in the CAD program. And what we came up with is a 3-piece design. So the outer piece comes off, the inner piece fits around the tube, it clamps around the tube, and then you clamp your -10 and -8 line going all the way to the front of the truck. Makes it nice, clean.
Take the ones that are on there off?
Yep, I took them off. Nice, clean look whenever it's on the truck. Spaced away from the chassis so it doesn't rub any paint. So those turned out awesome. Need to make some more for the other side for the water box lines. But since these lines are on this side carrying the fuel lines, I'm gonna make another box on this side kind of equivalent to that side. That way when you look in the bed of the truck, they'll be equal to the regular eye. But this is also gonna have a door on this side too. But this side will be a toolbox / cooler, whatever I want to use it for, So water in that side, could have a cooler in this side, some tools, whatever the case is. Obviously this is going to be a street truck also, along with a drag truck. So you at least got to have AN wrenches. So at least some AN wrenches will be in there. That way, You know, if I ever need to tighten any fuel lines or check any fuel lines or anything like that, they'll be in the box. Getting the rear end ready for paint, had to modify my anti-roll bar bracket just a little bit. So whenever I did this, I welded each tab on each side, and I welded all the frame up, and then I welded the brackets up afterwards. Well, if anybody knows, whenever something gets welded, it shrinks. So unfortunately, my fault on that. I had to cut this bracket off, make another bracket to where it was still stationary and moved smoothly. Because before it moved a little bit, shrunk, and it was off about an 1/8 inch, and there was no bending it back and getting it out of the way, so had to fix that. But got to get everything welded up on the rear section, cleaned up, buttoned up, tabs put on there. Where my brake lines are gonna route, I have to put those on there. Just kind of get it ready for paint. Whatever tabs got to get welded. I've got to put the bed back on it to mock up the bumper, because one goal with this truck would be race week. That would be awesome. So with race week, you got to be able to either tow a trailer or throw everything in the bed of the truck and ride out. So race week is the goal, sometime one year, but got to be able to have that hitch on there or ball to be able to tow a small trailer. A lot of guys with the C10s, depending on what you do, I think when I put the motor in, I had a first gen LS. So it'd be a Gen 3, 2002 model. The passenger side valve cover is pretty close to the firewall with the coils on it. It did fit with that motor, but with these valve covers, or with the, what was it, Gen 4 and LS3 valve covers, they didn't fit with the coil, so I had to relocate them. So I relocated those to the inside of the frame. Got all my fuel lines, you got to get routed, and drill and mount the E sensor, fuel filter, yank the motor out, get the frame section ready for paint. I've got a Holley Terminator X ECU, and the harness is not fitted the way I want it at all. So it's gonna be either a lot of cutting and splicing to make longer or shorter, or just make a whole new harness. Who knows? We'll see when the time comes. So on the turbo drain, I put bulkhead fittings inside the frame. So it's actually rolling through the frame instead of up and over the frame with the hose. That's what I did with the trans lines. Make it nice and neat. Got to put a bracket right there, come out of the trans cooler, bulkhead fitting back to the trans. So it's coming along. A lot of work left, a lot of work. Shoot, I don't even think I had headers made, downpipe, so that's all new. So everybody on the channel will be able to see all the work that got put into it since the last video. A lot of work done. I think last video it was just the intercooler that was new and just came in, so no headers, downpipe, all that good stuff was on it. So now she's running. Just got to get all the nitpick stuff done and go from there. Thanks for watching. Everybody like, subscribe, share. If you want to see some more C10 builds, soon to come burnouts. Dyno, this bad boy on a dyno, rollers. See how she goes. Like I said, not taking anything less than 1,000. That's what she's built for. Over and out.